Hello, hello. Hey, guys, welcome back. All right, Aquarians, let's go ahead and take a little peek at the Lionsgate portal energy. Now, that's the alignment of Sirius the dog star, as well as Orion's belt, Earth, and the sun. So it kind of opens up a nice channel for an energy flow, maybe an energetic upload, energetic upgrade, or maybe we could call it a download, however we want to look at it. But what's the energy flowing in? We have a Five of Wands. And this is like a lot of people, which is great because Aquarius tends to, be that zodiac that deals with like eras and entire like groups of, collectives. And so if everyone in the vicinity of Aquarius is like going through a similar upgrade, you notice how there's all this divine light. I would say this is amazing. Everybody's standing on the red carpet as well. So Aquarius could be attending. I mean, maybe they're doing an 8-8 party. That would be super fun. Um, there's, excuse me, there's new thoughts being cultivated. There's productive, we can say arguments, but it's more like debating. It's practicing. It's play fighting. I could picture, I'm picturing somebody playing volleyball around Lionsgate, being on a team sport, and like being around a bunch of mostly like-minded individuals that are also like problem solving. But in the midst of all this, we actually have like the battle between good and toxic. And I say that because we got the devil, and then we also have the Hierophant, which is the higher self. And I almost think that, okay, this could be the argument going on just within Aquarius. This could all be a personal thing. This could be all the other versions. You know how we all have different facets of our character. And when we start to, puzzle through something, there's our petty voice. Mine happens to be very loud. There's our rational voice. There's, the voice of our subconscious. There's the voice of our higher self. There's our inner child's voice. Think of how many different facets we have to our own character. So it could be that. It doesn't have to be that Aquarius is actually out there with a bunch of other people and it's a whole bunch of people chit-chatting and arguing about things and discussing things. It could just be Aquarius themselves is going to be like really looking at the pros and cons of some things in their own life, asking themselves, what do I keep? What do I let go? Specifically in regards to a lusty connection that maybe Aquarius is like, I desire them, but I also know that together we aren't that great. And my higher self already knows that, for a progressive, long-term, healthy connection, I would need this to be different than what it is. However, I'm still choosing to hold on to them or want them, or in this case, feeling stuck. I do think that this is Aquarius having like a little talk with themselves. Now, of course, it could still be that around this Lionsgate, Aquarius is going to be, like I said, dealing with others. And this could be on the macro scale, or this could be on the micro scale, right? This could macro meaning like this is the global scale. This is, Aquarius talking to friends, talking to, heck, maybe they're on a debate team, or, maybe they have like really great dialogue with people that they know in their community about, like, hey, should we do this? Let's go to a city council meeting. Let's all discuss. Let's try to figure out how best to, like improve our community. But it's also still breaking it down to like what works and what doesn't, what's toxic and what's not. So even if it's on the macro scale, I would still say that this is a time to evaluate. That's what the download is all about. I'm able to puzzle through the pros and cons list of why I've been stuck, about what has been stuck. I think right now that this is Aquarius has been kind of stuck on someone who maybe isn't the best for them, and they know that. We have a Knight of Cups upright. That Knight of Cups is somebody who wants to come in and offer their cup of love. There is a desire. Nine of Swords and Page of Wands. The problem is, I feel like this is a relationship that stops and starts. And it's like, oh gosh, are we going to do this all over again? It's so hard because if they come in to ask me, hey, can we have a new beginning? I'm always so tempted to say yes, even though I know it's only a matter of time before I'm really sad again. It's always just a matter of time before we have another problem. And I really promised myself this time I maybe wouldn't cycle back through it. I do think this is Aquarius, like evaluating why they've been on a cycle. But let me ask this, why does this person come in like, here I am, I have something wonderful to offer, I'm here to offer my cup of love? Because they look like they come in really serious and really wonderful. Two of Wands. Look, I don't know if this person wants to be less toxic and they just really struggle with that. They want to choose, they know what better looks like, but I wonder if they only clean up their act for so long and then they slip backwards again. How is Lionsgate hitting them? They could be a water sign, they could also be a fire sign, but okay, Lionsgate is hitting them with this idea that I really want to communicate things. I really want to talk to Aquarius. I really want to seemingly almost like start over and like really get to the heart of the matter and really start to converse about how would we move things forward differently. Okay, but is there a change here? Because Aquarius says, I know that we get toxic, that we've been toxic and I've been stuck on this person. Is there significant change during this Lionsgate portal? In this story, and please remember, these are fictional stories, right? I am not a psychic. I wish I had that gift. I do not. I'm just a damn good storyteller. And I love that because we get to watch these characters. That's why I always refer to them as the characters. We watch them play things out. And we can imagine how would we do things different if we were those characters. But of course, we have the advantage of being real people and have free will. So bear that in mind. But as we get this Magician in the reverse, it looks like this is not true. Nothing has actually changed for the better. It almost feels like there would be yet another cycle of, okay, this time it'll be different, but then maybe it won't be. This time we're going to be so happy and it's going to be so good and we're going to talk a lot and we're going to move forward and it's emotionally like stable and everything's going to move forward. But either they don't really believe it'll be different, or it literally is that nothing has changed. Embodiment of Cups. It's the King of Cups upright. Everything here just keeps saying to me again and again that there's so much, like, I really think that this character adores Aquarius. It really does look like they love Aquarius. It looks like they want things to be different. It looks like there's either disbelief that things could genuinely be different, or it truly is just nothing has changed, but they both want everything to turn out different. What would need to change? Hang on. Universe, if this is, I mean, keep in mind, this Lionsgate says this is a wonderful time for acknowledging what's actually going on in any situation, so then we can genuinely take steps to, alter the patterns that we need to, or change the things that we need to. How do I look at this? What could be done here? Ace of Wands. Okay, they need to write a new chapter. They need to be passionate about writing a different story, different life story here. Four of Wands. They basically both need to truly say that they want to commit to something. Okay, but what about that toxicity? Magician upright. Look, if both people really want to manifest a better outcome, that commitment to the better outcome. See, I wonder if they've just had problems, with jealousy, for example. This toxicity could be, I mean, maybe there's some addictions or something as well, but it almost seems more like they've had arguments, jealousy, fighting. Maybe there really isn't that big of a problem between these two. Maybe it's been more along the lines of like, gosh, we continuously make each other feel like insecure, and then we act out, and there's a lot of ego stuff. And sometimes it's hard to put our fingers on the fact that that's what's ruining something, is just the ego aspect. We clash, we argue, when really all we need is reassurance. I mean, that's what it looks like in this storyline. Like, that's the big breakthrough, is that it's the reassurance that I'm committed to this. I'm committed to this. I want to manifest. I want to open up emotionally. I want to feel more secure. And I want you to make me feel secure too. It's like both people maybe want the same thing, but they're so nervous that the other one doesn't really want the same thing. if that has been at the core of all of this, and again, I think that's really, really relatable. Like, two people can convince themselves in their mind, I want to be with them. I want to believe that, we'll have success, but we'll get back together, and then something will happen where I'll feel like they don't really want to be with me. And it's like, okay, this is where that dialogue is so necessary. Maybe they've never been good at actually communicating to Aquarius. And maybe that's where a lot of this, upheaval has come from, because it definitely looks like two people that actually really want to be together. Like this, whoever this knight is, they really want to be with Aquarius, but this indecisive energy has to stop. That Two of Wands. And it's nowhere here do we see them saying, well, I don't know if I want a relationship or if I want somebody else. It's not a choice of the crossroads of, do I want Aquarius or somebody else? It might have been, I don't know that Aquarius really wants me, so should I get my hopes up on this? And if two people perpetually are like making each other feel unsafe, insecure, and they're not talking about it, I could see how it just becomes this toxic cycle of like, oh gosh, I feel so uneasy in this connection because I don't have confidence they want to be with me. It's almost like Aquarius and this person have both been taking away one another's confidence by not having the dialogue that needed to be had, which is like, look, here's what I really want. Here's the path that I really want with you. I want to go the distance with you. I want to go ahead and write this love story and have it last. And I've been really scared that you don't want that with me. So I've been alternately trying to act like that's okay and trying to pull back, but then that just gets confusing. So here's me laying my cards on the table. I really want this to work. In fact, like, it really hurts to think that it might not. So I don't know. If you don't want the same thing, then for goodness sakes, let me go. Otherwise, can we not keep having this, hot and cold? We're kind of in it and then we back away and then we confuse each other. Like, that's what this feels like to me. Like, two people actually do really want this, but it has been this cycle of confusing each other. That's how it comes across, like, to the point where it's like, I don't even believe that they really want me. I think that they might be, not that interested in me. I think they're messing with my emotions, but it kind of looks like it's been on both sides. By the way, we do have that Cancerian. We do have the Virgo and Gemini energy here as well. And now we have Aries energy because my baby just showed up, my Aries. I really do like the fact that this is one of those storylines where I think they could end up being really happy together. And if ever there were a time to get to the tough conversation, it's not even tough, it's the cathartic conversation that needs to happen so that these two could finally get on board with like, but I did want to be with you. Well, I wanted to be with you. Okay, then why don't we focus on that? Like, that's how this comes across, which I'm just so happy because it feels like this relationship could actually get more stable, with that sense of certainty and being able to trust that each person wants the other one. That's what seems to be at the core of this. So that's what's being illuminated here. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.